How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to my channel, The Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about all things Marvel and everything relating to the MCU. Today we have a very interesting plot leak for the Wandavision series. One that sounds very real, and one that has been taken down off of some sites, which gives it a little bit of validity. Now, over the past few days, it seems like some of the episodes of the Wandavision series or their scripts have been leaked, because there have been a lot of different plot leaks online the past few days talking about multiple different aspects of the show, all believed to be from these leaked episodes that are online. And basically what we have here today is a lot of information about the first 3 episodes about the WandaVision series, and a lot of information about what's going to happen later on in the season and possibly bleed into season 2 as well. And like I said before, there's a chance that this could be very real. It's written very well, and the leak has been taken off of some websites which give it validity. So this could be real, and if that is the case, I have to issue a spoiler alert. If you are trying to avoid any and all things about the WandaVision series coming to Disney Plus, you should click away now. If you're here, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on everything relating to the MCU and to enter this week's giveaway for a chance to win an exclusive Iron Man Funko Pop. All you have to do is subscribe, like the video, and comment about the video down below. So like I said, we'll go through the first leak, talking about the first 3 episodes, and then into another plot leak right after. The main story is a doctor who got snapped in Infinity War trying to enter a multiverse reality to be with his dead wife and daughter. The first scene is of Bruce Banner and Hank Pym giving a talk at a university. Neil deGrasse Tyson cameos, and they're talking about the plot of Endgame and time travel opening up the multiverse. They take some questions, and one question that is asked is, what is to stop them from doing it again? Hank Pym says that he destroyed his Pym particles, and Bruce Banner says that he destroyed the machine and blueprints so nobody could recreate what they did. So remember that WandaVision is going to bleed into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Everything is going to lead up to what happens in that movie. So right away, we're setting up the multiverse in the MCU. They're just coming right out and saying, hey, there is a multiverse now. The events of Avengers Endgame created it. And of course, as you can see, people are wondering, can you do it again? And the main story is about a doctor asking that question so he can go be with his dead wife and daughter. So the first scene sets up the multiverse, but then we go to Wanda, who is in France living off the grid. She has a totally different look, different hair, different clothes, and she has a job on a farm taking phone calls. She lives in a suburban apartment, and one night she's drinking, and it's implied that she hasn't used her powers since Avengers Endgame. But one night, she uses her powers to create an image of Vision next to her, and he says some lines from Civil War and Infinity War like, I only feel you, and it's supposed to be her memory of him. But then he says, find me, and Wanda freaks out and ends the image. She goes to bed crying. The next morning, Sword shows up, and it's Monica Rambeau, the little girl from Captain Marvel. Wanda has been avoiding Sword for the past few months, but agrees to go with them. She makes a getaway bag full of cash and clothes and hides it under her bed. Then she goes to the cafe, and they explain that they need to reassemble the most powerful Avengers for the next Thanos-level threat. Wanda says that she's not ready, and they tell her to think about it, but they do say they need her to come to the US with them soon. She agrees and she goes home. But while she was out, the doctor from the first scene had snuck into her apartment and stolen her cash. He was following Sword without them realizing. Wanda goes home, grabs her bag, and then goes to the train station. She gets on the train, and when someone comes for her ticket, she tries to give it to him, but she doesn't have any cash. The doctor shows up and hands the ticket taker cash and says he's got her ticket. She thanks him and he sits with her. He says that he recognizes her, but he won't say anything as she clearly doesn't want to be found. They start talking, and he tells her he made a facility in the Midwest to support SNAP and blip victims who couldn't psychologically handle it, and he's in Europe meeting with potential patients at a hospital. He says that it's an inpatient facility and people live there, but it's confidential and people can leave whenever they want. He says that he knows that she got snapped because she was famous and he wants to help her heal, so she agrees and gets off the train with him and goes with him to his private jet. He takes her to his facility, which is almost a quarter-mile long and looks like an apartment complex. People have balconies and live normal lives for the most part, but live at the facility. He gives her a room and sets her up with a psychiatrist. In the lobby, she meets a few other people who are staying at the facility. She meets a guy whose kid died between the snap and the blip, so when he blipped back, they had been gone for a few years now. She then meets a widow who the leak says is played by Kathryn Hahn, and it's widely believed to be that she is playing Agatha Harkness. Wanda talks a little bit about herself, but she spares a lot of details because they don't appear to know who she is. She has her first appointment with the psychiatrist and is reluctant to give details, but the doctor tells her that everything is confidential and nobody knows she's there. So they just talk about things that make her happy, and Wanda says that the last time she was truly happy was when she was a kid with her brother and they would watch American sitcoms. The doctor tells her that she can get some old shows on video and give them to Wanda. She gives Wanda Brady Bunch, Roseanne, and Boy Meets World with a few others as well. Wanda goes back to her apartment and watches some of the old shows as it flashes back to her and Quicksilver as kids watching the same episode. And that's the end of the first episode. The second episode starts with Dr. Smith driving his car on the highway. Him and his wife are taking their daughter to her dance studio and he starts to snap. The wife grabs the wheel as he is disappearing and crashes into an oncoming car. Dr. Smith blips back with a bunch of other people on the side of the highway and everyone is really confused. Normal people start honking at them and everybody gets out of their cars and then the title plays. Wanda goes to lunch at a place in the facility and she meets Darcy from Thor. She's there because she snapped and blipped and her boyfriend got cancer during the 5 years when she was blipped and he ended up dying. She tried to find him when she blipped back but she was too late, so she has bad guilt and PTSD. Due to her connection with Thor and the Avengers, she knows who Wanda is, but she says that she won't tell anybody. Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man is looking at security footage of Dr. Smith at a gas station by his private landing strip in the Midwest. Dr. Smith winks at the camera and shoots it with a paintball gun from his truck. He goes backwards in the video using the license plate and sees it at the landing strip, and he searches Dr. Smith's plane ID number and calls Interpol. Wanda goes to her second session with the psychiatrist and they talk about the shows that she watched the other night. She asked if anything made her feel close to that happiness in her adult life that she had as a kid. Wanda says yes, but she can't talk about it. The doctor agrees and says that it's only been a year since the blip and a lot of people are only starting to talk about their traumas. Wanda leaves and Dr. Smith comes in another door and asks the doctor how Wanda is. The doctor says that Wanda is opening up a bit, but it could be days, months, nobody knows. Smith tells the doctor to try and trigger Wanda in the next session by talking about Vision, and the doctor agrees. Wanda meets Agatha Harkness and Darcy in the restaurant again after her session and they have dinner together. They go back to Wanda's apartment and watch some Brady Bunch. They talk about their experiences and how they wish there was a way to bring their lovers back. Kathryn Hahn's character is actually somebody who has been planted there, although it's not yet revealed in the episode, but she starts to ask Wanda about her boyfriend, but Wanda doesn't say much. Darcy distracts Kathryn Hahn's character by making jokes and they all drink and then leave for the night. We then have another flashback of Dr. Smith. He's at his old house right after the blip. People are still freaking out and celebrating and he knocks on the door and it's another family. They say they got the house from the bank during the bad times because the whole family snapped. Dr. Smith couldn't find his wife at the highway, so he goes to the library and uses their computer to search for her and his daughter, where he finds out that they died in the car accident. He breaks down crying in the library. He then goes to the university that he used to work at and they all celebrate seeing him and a few other colleagues. They talk about the hospital that is housing people in the Midwest for people with snap-related PTSD and that he should transfer there, and he does. We then go back to Wanda having another session with her psychiatrist, and Wanda says that she's finished all of the Brady Bunch and it brought back a lot of memories. They talk about how she's fitting in and Wanda talks about the girls that she's made friends with. The doctor is happy and tells her to pursue friendships even if they don't match up to the Avengers and Vision. Wanda gets really upset and the doctor consoles her, but Wanda storms out and starts packing her bags in her apartment. Kathryn Hahn comes by, but Wanda says that she knew they just wanted her for her connection to her old life, and she's going to leave. Kathryn Hahn calms her down and tells her that she should go talk to Smith about it. Wanda eventually calms down and agrees. It ends with Jimmy Woo looking at footage of the plane in France and rewinds it to see Dr. Smith getting off the train with Wanda, although he doesn't recognize Wanda. But he then puts in the next tape and it's footage of Dr. Smith getting on the train in Wanda's old hometown. He sees sword agents in the background running after the train leaves the station and he says, I wonder why they're there. And that's the end of the second episode, but as I mentioned, we do have a little bit more information about some characters, and this is another plot leak that has been taken down. It says that Agatha Harkness really is a witch from the Salem witch trials. She ends up revealing this to Wanda and helps her learn to control her powers and create different realities. However, like the previous leak said, she's actually planted there by somebody. And here it's said that Agatha Harkness works for a very powerful, mysterious villain. Now she creates a new reality with Vision, and Agatha Harkness is there in that reality with her as well. She eventually gets pregnant and gives birth to the twins, Wiccan and Speed. They also are gifted with magical powers, and Agatha helps train them as well. But then it's said that Vision gets possessed by the demon Mephisto, and that's all we really know, but it is safe to assume that Agatha is working for Mephisto. Now Agatha for the most part is good in the comics, but she does have a pretty deep connection with Mephisto. Now if all of this ends up being true, what's really interesting is how they build the show up. They don't dive right into Wanda creating different realities and creating a new family where Vision's involved. They start off very slowly and develop a very deep plot. The different realities that we know are coming due to the teaser that we got from Disney Plus, they come later. And I have to say that if this does in fact end up being true, then I like the way that they're doing this. Because Wanda creating an image of Vision and him speaking to her, "Find me," that could mean that he could truly come back and not just exist in a different reality that Wanda creates. But let me know what you think about this. If this ends up being true, is this something that you would like to see from the series? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything relating to the MCU. For live updates, you can follow me on Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.